What's going on, Z Warriors? MrWaffles here, and man, Bandai, you guys are doing such a great job. Can everyone do a golf clap, please? Because this company is really killing it right now with the promotion, with everything. Again, at the end of the video, I'm going to show you guys stuff that they have on their website. They updated it with some awesome info, so I'll make sure that you guys get plugged in with all that. And this is part 4, the final part of the card review series of all the commons. So, we're going to be talking about the yellow style, probably my favorite style in the game. I just love how the card pool, how it all like kind of generates like really counterplays and all these different kind of effects and stuff like that. So we'll just get started right into it. With starting off with Frieza Hellish Terror. So it costs 4 energy. It has a combo cost of 1 for 10,000 power, with a base power of 15,000, and it has the evolve keyword, where you play on top of a specific card, and has double strike, which inflicts 2 damage instead of 1, and it has an auto ability. When a card evolves onto this card, choose all your opponent's cards with blocker and switch them to rest mode. So it seems like the orange, I guess I wouldn't say gimmick, but I guess their niche is switching your opponent's cards to rest mode so they can't attack, and allows you to attack them. So it kind of stuns them, which is cool because like yellow electricity stunning kind of idea. So I like that. So things that I was wondering about evolve, which I'll probably get into a little bit later, is more so. Can you just play an evolve card just as a regular battle card, or does it have to be evolved? Because certain cards, they say when a card evolves onto this card, or it would say when you play this card, but it'll have the evolve keyword. So I'm not sure how that all works, but we'll see how it plays out. Next, we have Avenging Frieza. It costs 0 combo cost for plus 5,000 power, for base power of 5,000. Has the auto ability. When you play this card, look at the top 3 cards from top of your deck. Choose up to 1, Frieza among them, and with an energy cost of 2 or less, and add it to your hand. Then shuffle your deck. So I'm just reading it off the website, and the website doesn't, like in the text box, doesn't actually say the actual word. It just has like the 2 brackets, but it's actually choose up to 1 Frieza army among them, and with an energy cost 2 or less, and add it to your hand and shuffle your deck. Next up, Ginyu Force Raccoon. Cost 2 energy, 0 combo cost for plus 5,000 power, and it has a permanent ability. When this card gains plus 6,000 power during your opponent's turn. So very simple. It's good. So on you can attack with him, force some damage through. When they try to attack you with it, he's a 16k defense. So it's really good for that. I like that a lot. Next up, we have Ginyu Force Birder. Cost 2 energy for combo cost of 0 for plus 5,000 power, for base power of 10,000. Has the auto ability at the end of your turn, switch this card to active mode. This card is very, very good. Again, when cards are switched to active mode, your opponent cannot attack them. They can only attack them in rest position. So you can just force some damage with Birder early game, and just switch it to active at the end of your turn. So that way you don't have to worry about your units being killed. Sure, they can kill it with a card effect or something like that, but I still think it's very good in terms of just grinding out battles. It's a pretty good card. Next up is Ginyu Force Jace. Cost 3 for 0 combo cost for plus 5,000 power, with a base power of 10,000. Has a keyword blocker, and has an auto ability. When you play this card from your hand, look at the top 3 cards from your deck and choose up to 1. It looks like 1 Ginyu from among them other than Ginyu, and play it. Then shuffle your deck. So this card can really kind of spam the field if you have some Ginyu Force allies that's not Ginyu on top of your deck. So I can see some really cool combos with this. You can go Jace for Raccoon if it's on the top, or whatever the case may be. So I think it's a really good card just to kind of spam the field, as well as if you get another Jace off the top, you have another blocker. Next up, we have Ginyu Force Goldo. Costs 1 energy for 0 combo cost for plus 5,000 power. It's a blocker. Has the auto ability, and has a base power of 2,000. And has the auto ability. When you play this card, if your leader is, it looks like Frieza Army, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost 2 or less, and switch it to rest mode, which is awesome. So it's like a good stun card. And what I really like, it's a good counterplay card. So if they have like a 2-drop that they that they dropped, or even in a mirror match, if your yeah, they have their birder, which goes into rest mode at the end of, active mode at the end of their turn. You can drop this, switch it to rest mode and attack it. So it's good in the mirror match. Next up, we have Dodoria, the Emperor's Attendant. Costs 2 energy, 0 combo cost for 0 power. Has base power of 12,000. Auto ability: when you combo with this card, if your leader card is yellow and your life is 4 or less, draw 1 card and add plus 10,000 power. So again, the Trunks clone, the Vados clone, so the Piccolo one. So it's the yellow version of those kind of cards. So again, definitely a card I'll probably play 2 or 3 because you have to be at 4 life less. But then again, with the new Ginyu, it can have some synergy. So we'll see. I think this card's pretty good. Next up is Zarbon, the Emperor's Attendant. Costs 3 energy for 0 combo cost for plus 5,000 power. Base power 15,000. During your opponent's turn, when you combo with this card, choose up to one of your battle cards and switch to active mode. So it's stuff like this. What I really like about yellow is being all this like techie. You don't really understand what your opponent's doing. They can always have something up their sleeve. It's not very clear cut and dry. So basically, when your opponent attacks and you have like 2 rested units and they attack one of them, you can combo with Zarbon on that unit to give it plus 5,000 power to make sure it doesn't die, and then switch the other cards to active mode so that way they can't attack that unit. So he pretty much has some really sick effects. His Zarbon is very, very good, and for a common, it's amazing. Like I said, very, very good. And you'll see as the game plays out, you can see all the combos and possibilities you can do with this card. A lot of cool, quirky stuff. Next up, we have a Pool. Costs 2 energy for 0 combo cost for plus 5,000 power. Base power 15,000. Again, vanilla, but it's also a Frieza army card, so it's good vanilla Frieza army card. Next up, we have Sui. Costs 2 energy, 0 combo cost for plus 5,000 power. Base power 15,000. Again, nothing too special, but it's a Frieza army card, so that always matters because there's going to be a lot of cards that probably say destroy a Frieza army card to do something else, so you want to make sure you have that. And it's just a good beater. Next up is Banan. Costs 3 energy, 0 combo cost for plus 5,000 power, for 20,000 power. Again, very generic, but again, it's you'll see in this game that generic cards like this are very helpful. Next up is Kui. Costs 2 energy, 0 combo cost for plus 5,000 power, the base power of 12,000, and it's a blocker. So depending on this, it seems like this style has, I think, 3 blockers: Jace, Goldo, and Kui. So you can have up to 12 blockers in your deck, which is pretty awesome. Next up, we have Cold Bloodlust. These are the extra cards. It costs 1 energy. Counter play. So if your leader card is a Frieza army, the battle card play has a skill negator for the turn. So a very powerful card. So as long as you have a Frieza army leader, when your opponent plays a card, you just play this. You just basically nullify that card skill for the turn. So if they use a card to kind of blow up one of your units, you can have this as the counter and make sure you can protect that unit, which is awesome. So that's why I really like yellow right now, because of all these like counter I guess I would say counter spells, but I guess counter extra cards that are just very, very combo-y and very, very tactical in terms of making the right moves, making the calculated decision of when to use it. Should you save it for another unit or whatever the case may be. So very, very awesome card. Very simple, but very, very good. Next up, we have Bad Ring Laser. Costs 1 energy. Counter. Place 1 yellow card from your hand to the drop area and negate the counter. So for counter cards, if people are not aware, the card type is counter, and the play time is what's after the semicolon. So in the first one with Cold Bloodlust, it's counter play. So you play it when you basically counter your opponent's move when they play a card. In this case, with Bad Ring Laser, is a counter. So you're countering a counter card. So when your opponent plays a counter card, you're countering that counter card. I know it sounds confusing, but it's just like in Magic, if I'm playing a creature and then my opponent activates a counter spell to counter that, and I activate a counter spell to counter that to counter spell. Or in Yu-Gi-Oh, my opponent I play a monster, my opponent activates Solemn Judgment. I chain 7 tools. They chain their 7 tools. I chain my Wiretap, or whatever the case may be. So it's just that kind of chaining of reactions, which is very good. So it shows that the game has a lot of interaction. And for those who didn't think the game didn't, well, think again, because the game does. And the last two more. So we have Frieza's Call, probably one of my favorite cards in the set. Cost 1 energy, activate in your main phase. Choose one Frieza's army card with a cost of 2 or less from your deck and play it in rest mode, then shuffle your deck. So this card right here is really, really good. So free +1, it only costs 1 energy, so you can play it as soon as turn 1. So you can go like turn 1, Frieza's Call into Birder, and then at the end it goes into active mode, or you can get Raccoon, and then when they try to attack him, he's at 16 power base on their defense, turn 1. So it's a lot of cool things like that. This card I can see a lot of play later on for sure as we get more Frieza army cards. And last but not least, we have Crusher Ball. Costs 1 energy, counter play. This battle card, the battle card is played in rest mode. So when your opponent plays a battle card, sure, it'll get the effect, but you can just put it into rest mode so they can't attack. So I have to see the rulings on terms of activating multiple counter cards. Let's say if you want to activate Crusher Ball as well as Cold Bloodlust, where you nullify their effect, or nullify the battle card skill, as well as put into rest mode. So I'm pretty sure you might be able to, but I have to just see the play timing on that and how all that works. So that's it for the yellow cards. Again, I really love yellow just because of all the counter cards, and I just love being able to kind of have that aspect of, okay, my opponent I'm trying to go for game, and they activate a card that is a counter that negates the attack. I can just activate my Bad Ring Laser to counter that counter, and then try and go for game. So it's stuff like that where I really, really like in the interactions with this. So on to what the Bandai site has. So they uploaded the new community page, and they uploaded all the stores as well as YouTube channels that are taking part of the promotion. So it comes with 4 half decks, a rule manual, and 4 flyers. So 4 of each: 4 half decks, 4 rule manuals, and 4 flyers. Awesome information. And they're sending it out timely. They're doing a really good job promoting. And then you also want to, again, use these half decks to really get more friends into the game. You want to kind of spread the word about this game. If people are really hesitant to play the game, you can't really turn down something that's free, right? If you have a friend that's like, oh, I'm not really sure about playing the game, just give them a half deck for free to try it out and see, if they like it or not. It didn't cost them anything, and it's a good way to really get players into the game. So for those who have the half decks, make sure you promote. And then if you go down here, you can see that they have the stores that were supporting or taking part in promotion, as well as YouTubers. And one of my great friends who I love dearly, my boy Shady Penguin, is on here. So shout out to Shady Penguin. He's my brother-in-law. I knew him since I was like 5 years old. Check out his channel. He has a lot of great content for Duel Links and other gaming content. So as well as a lot of other people on here. But I also just see my boy Shady Penguin. So I got to give him that shout out and all the love for sure. So it's really good that Bandai is also taking part of the community and really being involved, because that's something that you want to see and stand behind when a company does something like that, where they're seeing the people that are interested in the game, they're recognizing it, and they're giving something back to the players, and hopefully they can keep on this trend, because it's just a good way to show the trust between the players as well as them, and to know, hey, we have your back. We can see that you like the game, you like what we're doing, we want to give you guys something, and it's just a good kind of flow that happens between the players as well as the company. So again, great job, Bandai, for what you're doing. You guys are doing a great job. And they're also going to do another promotion. The second promotion's on the way. So stay tuned for that. It's coming soon. So again, Bandai, you guys are killing it. I can't thank you guys enough. I can't thank the community enough. As you can see, all the hard work that they're doing, all the hard work that we're doing as well to definitely get the game out there. And it's really kicking up for sure. So make sure that you have any friends that might look for a new card game to play. This is definitely one that they should definitely try and pick up. And if they want to get something, make sure they get the promotion. So until next time, Z Warriors, MrWaffles out.